Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the number one collaborative professional wrestling podcast anywhere in the world. This is Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, and Everything Pro Wrestling presents Clash of the By God podcast. We are really excited to be with you for episode 102. And that's not 102 here and there. It's not like I do my podcast sporadically. I'm more like on the Conrad swag right now. Every week without surcease. You're welcome for that word. Without surcease, we have been with you guys 102 consecutive weeks. Very happy to talk about the Tribal Chief, the OTC. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to talk a lot about AEW. We're going to talk about everything across the gamut. You know what I'm saying? I'm really fired up for this episode. And we have a little bit of a tribute as well. Other than that, we're just ready to rock and roll. It's all about y'all, man. Thank you for the chat being here. On behalf of Conrad and myself, we're ready to do it, man. Conrad, my brother from another mother, drop that thing.
We would be remiss if we didn't start this episode, and we will also dedicate this episode to the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan. I was going to call him Booker Man for some of his memorable moments in pro wrestling. Kevin Sullivan is very well known in the southeastern portion of the United States for his pro wrestling, Florida especially. I wanted to open up and just let me and Sean kind of just talk about him, and then we will get into the chat and everything else here. But I wanted to acknowledge Kevin Sullivan first for his contributions to the business. And I think he's a big part of why we got to enjoy that time period of like 1995 to the year 98, 99, depending on what you liked.
Well, there's no question that, the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, was very influential in the world of professional wrestling for quite some time, decades. In the ring, outside the ring, obviously his creative energy is what brought us a lot of the stuff that you just talked about, Conrad, that you just articulated regarding the 90s. But even before that, he was a member of the Varsity Club with Rick Steiner and IRS. There's so many other issues and things that he's been a part of that have been very good. Obviously, the controversial matter with Brian Pillman, but regardless of that, and obviously controversial situation as far as booking, many people say quote unquote booking his own divorce, but I think remembered for far more good than bad. One thing I will say about Kevin Sullivan, I believe wholeheartedly, and I think I speak for Conrad when I say this man loved professional wrestling, and he certainly did everything he could in his mind to advance and to elevate the business. So for that, I say thank you, Kevin Sullivan. Rest in peace and Godspeed.
Yeah, I will agree. Kevin Sullivan had tremendous feuds. If you wanted to see stuff, Sean, some of my favorite feuds with him involve Cactus Jack, him teaming up with Cactus Jack and becoming the tag team champions. Some of the stuff in ECW. I know that he did take advantage of the in the 70s, 80s, the Satanic Panic, and he was doing a character like that. The dude's from Boston. You can hear it in his accent when he talks.
Right,
like he can't even hide that. Yeah, I like the Red Sox, and he was doing it. But Kevin Sullivan was a very smart person. I want people to know that. Like he never even took credit for things like the Brian Pillman angle. Always said, no, that was Pillman's idea. It wasn't even my idea. But he worked with me on it. Pillman basically got Eric Bischoff to fire him. It's crazy to think about this. And he said, oh, we'll make it look real. Have the lawyers drop the documents. And then he went over to WWF after and played him, basically. With He Who We Shall Not Speak Of, I know he was with Nancy for 10 years. I mean, that's a hard thing to even think about, talk about, speak about. But he's got to feel some type of way about that whole thing. But that feud was tremendous as well. The Falls Count Anywhere match where they're fighting in the restroom. Dusty's great call. There's a lady in the men's bathroom. And they're
Great American Bash, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir. You are correct. Just fantastic stuff. And then I'll even say this. I think towards the end of WCW, and I let me not just gloss over the bad stuff. We do have the Dungeon of Doom, and he basically fed Hogan anybody he wanted to work with, Kamala,
right.
Shark, whatever. It was all bad, some of it. The Yeti. The Giant, he was part of introducing the Giant to pro wrestling, Paul White. Yeah, just a lot to think about with him. And I think WCW was turning it around at the end, even when he tried to put the belt on He Who We Shall Not Speak Of, and he still walked out because he thought there would be issues between him and his friends, which understandable on both sides. I thought they were still turning it around with the Magnificent Seven and everything else that they were trying to do towards the end to steer the ship right. But he knew after WrestleMania 14, he told Kevin Nash that he walked in, you feel that? The water's getting a little cold. We just hit an iceberg after the Tyson, because he knew they were cooked.
You know, for me, I just feel like it's worth repeating. And I like I said, I really appreciate your soliloquy as it relates to Kevin Sullivan. For me, though, again, I can't stress this enough. There's one thing that's undisputed about Kevin Sullivan. He loved the business. And I truly believe, contrary to others, because there's many question marks as I relate to the industry as it relates to people who run the show. But contrary to others, I think it is undisputed fact that he never did anything that he at least didn't think was a good idea. He didn't do anything that he didn't think was a good idea. Whether it played out that way, that's a different story. But when he put it down on paper, when he put pencil to paper, he thought it was best for the show. He thought it was best for the industry. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ever ask for a decision maker.
Absolutely. Let's get into the chat here, and then we'll get into some more stuff. Joel dropping off a $2 super chat saying, you guys ready for All In and All Out? Absolutely.
I am ready, and that is what she said.
She might have if it was time.
I'm surprised you even engaged in that, Cara. You must be having a good day. You never engage in my under the table ridiculousness. God bless you, brother. You must be feeling good today.
You know, we got it. And you know what else? Look at this. Timeliness. You must have picked the right one. Yeah. All In and All Out pay-per-view pack is now available for order worldwide on USA, on Triller TV pay-per-view. So they've got it. We also see some of the places where it's not available, but this double pack is something we've been asking for a while. As a wrestling fan, I would say jump on that.
And I think it's so important. I know you covered it, bro, but we got to say it with some stank. It's available worldwide, including the United States of America. I want people to really get a firm understanding of the fact that, yes, this is available in the United States. I know that there's certain times where it's like it's available worldwide, and you're like, probably not United States. No, this double header is available in the United States of America. So, do what you got to do, man. And I understand, Conrad, if I'm not mistaken, it's offered at a discount price if you order the bundle.
Correct. It is. I am looking right now to see if I could do some quick math here in my brain, but it looks like you'll end up saving some bread here. About $10 maybe. Right.
I thought it was, somewhere in that range. So it's worth it to just order both at the same time. You order All In, you're already locked in for All Out. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I think you get another discount too if you're on AEW Plus. So
there you go.
Just saying, if you're across the pond or somewhere else and you watch this, look into your options for this, man. It's gonna be good, man. I'm looking forward to both of those shows. Also, big shout out to our friends at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. I can say that they were confirming trying to get their tickets here on the West Coast for Wrestle Dream. I kind of like this background here. So the tickets just went on sale today for the VIP access, as you guys can see here. It was made aware to me, Sean, that they have this new area where you can kind of sit and it's like elevated a little bit on the floor. And it's like a VIP area. I've never seen that for a wrestling show. I don't know if boxing shows and stuff have that, but it's pretty cool.
They do, but it's another example. I'm glad you pointed that out, Conrad. It's another example of the world of professional wrestling adopting some of the cool elements that boxing matches and boxing events bring to the table, including that elevated seating you just made mention of.
Yeah, excellent. And we will get back to AEW a little later on. I want to also announce Bound for Glory's place has been announced. It's going to be live Saturday, October 26th, Wayne State University Fieldhouse. For those that don't know, that's Detroit. I thought they were going to the UK possibly for Bound for Glory, but Detroit gets it. I wonder if maybe we get an inclusion into the Hall of Fame potentially.
Right. I'm hoping so. They deserve it. For the people listening on audio, he made the reference to the Motor City Machine Guns.
Motor City.
Yep.
I'd like to see them go in, or if not them, AJ Styles. I think I would like to see him make an appearance too. If I'm just fantasy booking what I'd like to see on that show.
Super facts.
Don't forget, we do have Bash in Berlin coming up. We got the World Heavyweight Championship match announced, and we're going to talk later about the WWE Championship match that was announced. That might be half the card, so brace yourselves.
Yeah,
you're going to have to wait and see what happens with that.
And as always, the Thursday before Bash in Berlin, make sure you come over to the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel where we will have a special edition of Clash of the Podcast. And I can't reveal it now, but we have a very special, and I'm putting some extra sauce on that, a very special incentive, not only just so you get to hear the awesome Conrad and myself talk our talk, but a giveaway that is, I'll say, the biggest in Clash of the Podcast history, coming up on the Thursday before Bash in Berlin. So we're really stepping it up for you guys. And I'm not, no hyperbole, the biggest giveaway, the most significant giveaway in the history of Clash of the Podcast will happen on the Thursday before Bash in Berlin.
My man. Clown says, afternoon, everyone. Hopefully Monday is treating us all well. Appreciate you, Clown.
Thank you, sir.
Quill says, what up, Conrad? Chat, Sean. Your boy, Sir Quills, is back again to enjoy my two favorite bros for episode 102, the best wrestling podcast today, Clash of the By God podcast. Thank you.
Willie!
All hail the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Let him know. Happy Monday, guys. Hope everyone had a great weekend. From Ray Thompson. Thank you, Ray.
Same to you and your family, Ray.
Ray says, gotta say, Raw was good last week. Had me looking forward to tonight's show. Raw was, you know what? Raw was my show of the week last week, if you ask me.
Raw was pretty good, and you don't hear me talk like that very often. That was really good.
I texted him after, and I was like, this is a pretty good Raw. I'm not going to front.
I think had I said to Conrad chat, if I told Conrad that Raw was whack last week, I would have been a hater. And I'm not. And one thing I'm not is a hater. I have to give credit. Like, Monday Night Raw was not bad. Like, it was good.
And Ray's got a topic we're going to be getting into later. I did Cody gifting Owens a title match. Remember that thought for a second.
Oh, boy.
Remember that thought. Sean, making sure everybody knows, you know we got Vinny in the house.
The only Vinny we like.
He says, happy Monday, playing flag football tonight. God bless as always. Roman is about to be the most over babyface since Austin at this rate. Dude has the aura of an Undertaker and a champion presence of Bruno, Hogan, Austin.
I don't think that's hyperbole by Vinny. I think he's 100% right. I think Roman Reigns has a chance to do something really special.
Doug says, another Monday, another clash. Teach me. Teach him how to Dougie. Yo, random question. I was having this conversation at work today. Can you copyright a dance?
I believe so. Especially the Dougie per se. I think Dougie Fresh has done that.
Because I've heard, like, so when you play like NBA 2K, you know how the people like walk around and they're doing the dance moves?
Yeah.
Someone said that nobody owns those. That's why they're able to put them all in. Because I'm like, that would cost a pretty penny if you had to. But someone said that the Dougie is something that he has copyrighted. So I don't know if it's expensive.
So. I think Dougie Fresh did that. And if not, the Tally Swag District definitely, when they blew up in 2010, 2011 with their song Teach Me How to Dougie, I think they copyrighted the dance as well. M. Leezy. Ho. Sheezy. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Hoping it's a good weekend for y'all. And let's kick off this week with the two aces on our pro wrestling community. M. Leezy, we appreciate you, my G.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. Elite Easy E. Y'all late. I'm watching Jobber Tears. Get out of here with them. You frontin', you'll be back in here. Anthony Slate said, hey, all. What's up, Anthony?
What up, dope?
Gotta love over-the-counter Roman Reigns. What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? He'd be right back. Hey, yo, what up, E? R.I.P. the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan. I respect you, Booker, man.
Oh, yeah.
So true.
Oh, yeah.
So true. John G, the king of R&B, says, hey, Conrad and Sean. What's up, John?
What up, John G? Ooh, yeah.
Don't make me laugh, bro. Never would have gotten some of the darker characters in wrestling without the Taskmaster. That's true. I was always a big Kamala fan. Always liked Kamala. Quill says, surprisingly, both Raw and SmackDown were decent, borderline good. I wonder if it will continue. I'm not keeping my hopes up. See, I didn't think SmackDown was... I didn't see it with SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown wasn't that great to me, but I will say this. I'll just reference it in relation to Raw. I'll just rock with Quilly on the Raw part. He has a right to be worried because Raw was good last week. The odds of there being 2 good Raws in a row, unlikely in my opinion.
The problem is the 3 hours. That's what hurts you. There's no way that Raw can be good every week at 3 hours because you get sick of it.
And I want to say this off the rip. Big ups to Brunson Reed, but you're not going to be able to splash Seth Rollins 6 times every single week. That was a moment. It was a big moment. It was something that made me really stand up and pay attention. But you're not going to be called into the ring to do 6 splashes on Seth Rollins every single week. So my question to Brunson Reed, what are you going to do next? Because your moment is upon you. There's an opportunity there, but only if you can capitalize. And like I said, I'm going to say it a third time, you're not going to be able to go up to the top rope multiple times and jump down and have the crowd going crazy. What is your next promo going to be? What is your next match going to be? That's all that matters. But his moment is at his footsteps if he can take advantage of it.
You have to feed him.
Mm-hmm.
Whomever, whether it's Sheamus, whoever you need to, he's got to beat them and beat them decisively, I think. But I think that we'll see that for Bronson Reed, though.
I hope so, because last week got me excited for him. I just was in the same breath of being excited, Conrad. I think I texted you about this. In the same breath of being excited, I was like, but this was a weird and unique in a very awesome way situation. Like, you just went to the top 6 times, the crowd went nuts. How can you do it one time and still make it mean something?
Yeah, it's going to be all in how you do it. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if tonight's a squash match for him. But they did tease some more stuff with him and Adam Pearce. Let's see here. Matt letting people know $15 is the amount here for the discount. Order the bundle, you save $15, some money if you separate. There you go. There you go. McKinney says, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling with the Fire Live chat and the original gangsters of podcast, Clash of the Podcast, and to let y'all know, go without a life of full momentum, not dreams. Or a life full of memories, not dreams. I am not able to read today. Thank you, McKinney. I appreciate that. The tribal chief Beast Mortos. Beast Mortos is nice, man. I'm telling you. I'm a big fan. Of what's been going on with Beast Mortos. Michael Jackson trademarked the moonwalk. I want to see how they would do that. BJ says late to the party, but here now. Hope it's been a good start of the week for everyone. Same to you, Beej. Same to you, brother. Just asked that the little kid that started the floss stance, Fortnite took it and put it in the game and gave him nothing. Yeah. See, that's what I've heard. Yeah, 15 if you order the bundle, Joel says. Good deal.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice. Real good deal.
Yeah. Just know I'm taking advantage of it, so I'm watching these shows.
When you make a decision to watch both shows, right, it's kind of a no-brainer. Like, if you're going to make the decision to pull the trigger figuratively on the purchase, you might as well get the bundle.
Yeah, I'm with it. I say get it. Let's get into SmackDown. We usually don't talk SmackDown right away, but SmackDown had some story progression here. And I know I said SmackDown was kind of I feel like SmackDown was okay, and then you had Roman Reigns stuff, which was good. But other than that, what are we doing here?
It was a weak show with the exception of Roman. I mean, I really enjoy Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns is the biggest star in the company. I know that's not really any kind of jaw-dropping analogy on my part. Everybody knows that. But outside of that, I mean, it's still a C-, C+ show without Roman Reigns. I mean, well, I take that back. It's still a C+ show with Roman Reigns, which means without Roman Reigns, it would have been worse. I mean, what else stands out from that show? I'm glad that Street Profits are in the Tag Team Championship picture, but I mean, kind of too little too late. We'll see how they can cultivate that and make it mean something. I mean, Tonga Loa is just making me mad.
You know what? I enjoy it at this point a little too, though. It's the comedy. Just put the Benny Hill music behind it and enjoy him. Like, there's no way he held that belt up like that and was serious. It's like crooked. Hey, what's up?
We all as kids. I don't know. We all as kids know to hold the belt kind of like, you're holding it up like this, or you're holding it up like this. Like, this dude was like to the side, and like one side of the belt was on. It was crooked. It was like, what are you doing?
It's crooked. You just gotta slide your hands in and just hold it up, man. Funny.
I was like, yo, dude, like, this is ridiculous. Like, I thought it was an accident. I was like, he just held it. It was very embarrassing.
Listen, keep the eye patch on, and it'll all make sense. That's why he missed the corner.
I guess so. But it's been like botchamania for this guy.
Absolutely insane what we had with it. Roman Reigns, the OTC, is back, and he is claiming heads, and he came right after Solo Sikoa. I don't know. I just thought this all worked. This is the big culmination of what we've been going for. But what is it leading to? Sean, did you get any feeling looking at this?
This is the unfortunate part of where we're at in WWE. We know, unequivocally, this is leading to Bloodline versus Bloodline at Survivor Series. Now all that matters is how we get there. Can we get there in a way that is entertaining? We knew from the moment that the referee counted 3 at WrestleMania 39 that the main event for WrestleMania 40 would be Cody versus Roman Reigns. Due to a happy accident, we had a fun ride starting from January 1st. So because of the happy accident, we had a fun ride. How do we make this ride to Survivor Series mean something? How do we make it fun? Well, I'm thinking Bad Blood, Roman versus Solo. I'm thinking interference. And I'm thinking from there that we're going to have a situation where the Survivor Series teams will form. Notice I didn't mention anything about Bash in Berlin because I don't think that Roman Reigns will be at Bash in Berlin. There's a chance that Solo Sikoa may not be at Bash in Berlin. So, Bash in Berlin you might as well put to the side as it relates to the Bloodline. The Bloodline storyline is going to kick up at Bad Blood, no pun intended.
You know what? I was about to take a drink, but I'm not. I want people to realize, too, is when the big shows happen, that's when you're going to get more people and stuff will be happening. When you get these shows, this is the show where now they're going to put on the Street Profits, maybe. Maybe we'll give Dominic Mysterio a match or a Judgment Day group match. Mm-hmm. These are the things that you're going to have to watch out for. So if you're interested in only certain storylines, pay attention to what they're doing and see where they're going first beforehand. And they're probably going to be doing a long build for this. So I do think we're going to end up getting Roman and Solo, but how we get there and all that's going to matter. There's Tonga Loa catching a beat down that he probably had coming to him just for what he's
holding the belt that way.
yeah. Or donking his brother on the head for a low blow.
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm telling you, it's got to be on purpose at this
point. And by the way, a very talented guy, but his time in WWE has been very, muddled.
Interesting. I'm going to ask you and I'm going to ask the chat the same question. Who's the bigger babyface right now? Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns?
I'm saying this to you I'm asking you this question with all due respect.
Well, I know your answer, but I want you to elaborate on it, though.
Roman Reigns, without question, Roman Reigns has been more popular, in my opinion, in his absence than Cody Rhodes, much less than after his return. Roman Reigns has done something, Conrad Cushman, that I did not think was possible. Roman Reigns has legit went from somebody that I wanted to be storyline-wise run over with a car to someone that I am now his biggest fan. And I feel like that is that way across the board. I don't know. We're going to get into this in a little bit. Cody Rhodes is not hitting, bro. I don't care what anybody says. So at the end of the day, if Cody Rhodes isn't hitting, we need Roman Reigns. But even with the popularity that Cody Rhodes has had, because I'm not, even though I'm saying he's not hitting, that doesn't mean I'm not saying he's not doing anything well. The little kids and the girls like him, whatever. But at the end of the day, everybody from the top of the arena all the way to ringside was thrilled to see Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has become, in my opinion, the most popular wrestler in the world.
Wow. And
I never thought I'd say that.
Who was it before Roman? Like, who would you say before this would you give it to?
The man who I still say is the best in-ring performer in the world, Will Ospreay.
Okay. Interesting. Deanna is in here for saying, my tribal chief, there can only be one. E said karma for those G1 chops he gave Okada, king of soft style. Remember. Quill said, our black superstars were featured right for the change. The Street Profits got the W. Jay Cargill got the W and stood tall with Bianca Belair. And a returning Naomi and Carmelo Hayes got his lick back.
It was refreshing to see that, Quilly. I agree with you.
Yeah. Thanks.
I mean, still not prominent. I think this is the reason why Conrad's making that face. Don't let me misquote you, Conrad. Still not in prominent roles, but yes, they had a moment where they came out on top on the show, but they still were not in prominent roles. Is that why you gave that face, Conrad?
100%. 100%. So good. I'm glad you're listening, but are you really listening?
Right.
Deanna said, get that belt off Cody. He's boring. If he's not chasing the title, I said what I said. Crybabies. Woo!
Deanna has on many occasions disagreed with me. Deanna on many occasions has disagreed with you, Conrad. Deanna on many occasions has both said that we're crazy over the past 102 weeks. You know that she means what she just said. And I consider her to be a very impartial person. Cody is not hitting, bro. I don't know why some people are having so much difficulty, no pun intended, acknowledging that. He's not hitting, bro. I don't care how many kids he pulls out of the crowd and gives a kiss to and signs autographs. Roman Reigns don't need all that, bro. Roman Reigns is him.
He's selling them shirts still, though. I don't know how he's pulling it, but he's doing his thing, Cody. He's got to be feeling the pressure, though. I don't know what else to call it. This feels like, and I don't want to say this as disrespectfully, but this feels like Ultimate Warrior with the championship, as we were discussing with Rick Rude. And yeah, Warrior's the champ, but we know what the main event of SummerSlam. We know what the main event is, brother. Like, yeah, it feels like that. It's giving off Macho Man vibes again. To where, no, you're the man. You're the man. Like, you knew who closed the show, and I did the wrong music, I know, but you know who closed the show. It's Big Dog. It's the Tribal Chief. It's the OTC. Roman Reigns.
April 1st, 1990, Toronto Skydome, WrestleMania 6. Putting aside how I feel about him personally, when the Ultimate Warrior won the World Wrestling Federation Championship, everybody was watching Hogan riding away on the cart. There's a reason for that. Rest in peace, Ultimate Warrior. I will never speak ill of the dead. Rest in peace. But Warrior was not him. When I want to be clear, and this is something I want to tell you, Conrad, that because I don't even think you understand this because I have not articulated it properly. So you get a pass because I've never articulated it properly. I'm not saying that Cody Rhodes would not be him if there was no Roman Reigns. That's the part that you need to understand and the chat needs to understand. If there was no Roman Reigns, Cody would be him. But when Roman Reigns, whether he's home or at the show, He will always be second fiddle. Period. Roman is him.
He's definitely who the company is focused on, 100%. Got to give a shout out to Joe Compton, Chad Schrader, T. Ferg, Byron Cutler, and Entertain45. Guys, if you haven't, hit that like button for us. It gets more people in here. They want to come and start talking pro wrestling with us. And share on social media if you're on Twitter. Our stuff is down here. Retweet us. Give us some love, man. Give us some love. I haven't put anything in the chat. I'm just gonna put Hub's stuff in here. You know what though? I want to make an argument towards some of the past stuff we were just talking about a little bit.
I am here for it, brother.
Do you think?
If you can't tell by now, I'm feeling good tonight. Let's rock and roll, man.
I am, but I'm veering off a little bit here. But it's one of these kinds of shows because we could veer off into different areas. Ultimate Warrior's title reign. Do you feel they handled him the best? Like, I know that he didn't draw as well, and then they probably were like, oh, we got to go back to Hogan. But do you feel they handled Ultimate Warrior well enough? Like, I felt like you didn't really give him the best matches. Like, you put him in there with Rude because he had a good match with Rude. But also, how did you present Rude during that time? You know what I mean? Were there better choices maybe for him to face?
They dropped the ball for one reason, and I'm going to give you a guess about a question I'm about to give you. Because had they done this, it would have been better, and he would have at least held the title till WrestleMania 7. Who did they tease to challenge Ultimate Warrior, basically his whole title reign, but never gave us the match?
Macho King.
Why not?
Don't understand.
Why not? That would have put it. We needed to see, not with his career on the line, we needed to see Warrior versus Macho King at the Royal Rumble for the WWF Championship. That's what we needed.
Instead, he smashing scepters on his head and giving the belt to Sergeant Slaughter. What was this?
Only thing I can think of, Conrad, this gives me Hogan Ric Flair vibes. I don't know if as we got closer to maybe the holiday season, maybe Macho is, at that time, Macho made the decision that he wanted to take time off, so they veered away. Because all the way through October's main event, through November's Saturday night main event, for those that need to look it up, November edition, 1990, Saturday night's main event, Ted DiBiase challenges Ultimate Warrior for the WWE Championship. DiBiase gets disqualified. Macho Man runs down with the scepter, beats the crap out of Warrior. Maybe up until then it was the way to go, but then maybe Macho was like, hey, by the way, come March, I need to take some time off.
Maybe. I know after the fact why you know why the career match happened and why he had to step away. Well, they were trying to have a family, it sounded like.
Right. But to answer your question, that's what I think it was. I think that Macho Man and Warrior for the title would have put it over the top.
Right. Joe Compton in the chat says, Roman, he sold all those replica belts in a matter of an hour. You can't argue with money. That's true. It's all about the position you put people in too, though. You'd never put Zack Ryder in the position to succeed, and he probably overcame more than most. So,
can we still veer a little bit more?
Yeah, veer. Or say swerve.
There you go. I've been very hard on Cody Rhodes, but I want to give a big shout out to the chat. Several people in the chat who have said it's all about the booking, and I agree. You brought up something about the Ultimate Warrior, and go ahead, bro.
No, finish your point because I'm going to go back. We're going to go on to another retrospective thing. Remember what you just said about booking and say it to me, though.
Okay, no doubt, I got you. But you mentioned Rick Rude. I've been very, very upset about Cody's booking as the world champion. AJ Styles with the whole Mark Henry situation. By the way, where's AJ Styles been? That's another question. Just a couple of weird title reigns, in my opinion, or title defenses. Even though Ravishing Rick Rude, I want the chat to follow me on this. Even though Ravishing Rick Rude was probably never going to win the match at SummerSlam 1990, they made it mean something. They made it feel like there was at least a small chance that Ravishing Rick Rude could win. Who in this chat, and I want yeses and nos, who in this chat honestly thought AJ Styles was going to defeat Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship? Nobody. Nobody. So my point is, what a great, unexpected parallel. The Ultimate Warrior wasn't the greatest champion ever by any stretch of the imagination. But I'll tell you this, oh my God, didn't even think I was going here, Conrad. Holy crap. I think Ultimate Warrior is a better champion than Cody Rhodes as far as his reign is concerned. Ultimate Warrior's reign was more entertaining than Cody Rhodes has been so far. And before the chat jumps all over me and before you jump all over me, I want you to think, whose reign was more entertaining, the Warriors or Cody Rhodes? I'll wait.
So you had mentioned something, and I want to get to the chat's questions first, but please humor me, chat. Let us cook tonight. Let us entertain. Let us be Shawn Michaels for a second. Let us cook. You mentioned something about booking. Did someone say something about it that made you notice in the chat?
No, but roll with it. Let's roll.
I listened to my good friends Mike and JD over on the Voices of Wrestling, and they had a good thing, and they were talking about booking. Sean, do you feel we overrate booking in pro wrestling today? And before you answer that, I want to give you an example. Come back even further than what we were just talking about. Let's go back to 1989 for a second. Follow me. You tell me the big storylines going into the big four kind of for 1989. What was it all centered around?
I mean, are we still talking about 1990 or 1989?
89.
Okay. Going into the Royal Rumble of 1989, the storyline was tension between Hogan and Savage. Going into WrestleMania 5 was tension between Hogan and Savage. Going into SummerSlam of 89, it was still tension between Hogan and Savage, and also Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude.
Also, you had, but who else was in that main event for SummerSlam?
Well, the main event was Beefcake and Hogan versus Macho and Zeus.
We won't get into Survivor Series because you can get into a lot of different things with that, right? Multiple man matches. I want you then to tell me, do you remember what was happening in WCW? And I can help you. And I'm stealing this example right from JD because I love this example he gave.
Well, if in 1989, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was on the cusp of Sting becoming, like it was almost there.
Sting and Muta were for the television title was the program.
Okay,
just work with me here on this.
Let's go.
You had Lex Luger getting built back up because he was kind of in that like, oh, he's down now. We're gonna work with you more, Luger, and maybe we'll put you with Wyndham. We'll figure something out.
Right.
You had Ric Flair, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
I'm so ashamed of myself, Conrad.
No. But that happened later on.
Oh, right. Okay.
That happened later on. You get a trilogy of matches between them.
Okay.
Who came out of retirement that year?
Terry Funk.
Who was Sting feuding with for the television title that made his debut with Gary Hart?
Terry Funk.
No,
the Great Muta.
Yes, they were in the same stable though. That's why
Great Muta. Yes.
What show sounds better booked to you?
What show sounds better booked? WCW.
I think if you watch week-to-week television, and this is what JD's point was, he said, I went back and rewatched all this stuff. He was like, WCW's the better booked product. But which company made more money? Zeus? Y'all were paying for Zeus? As fans, think about what I'm saying here.
So when you tell me, Conrad, you're a freaking genius. When you tell me, but WWE sells more tickets, but WWE has more buy rates, that doesn't mean it's the better show.
For the fans, from the fan perspective.
Right.
I just want you to think about that.
Right.
Now, if you work for WWE, you're like, yeah. And I get that. Like, yes, I'm all about the money. Or if you're Tony Khan, you're like, yeah. Or Ted Turner, you're like, yeah. Or who was it? Jim Crockett, I think.
Jim Crockett, yep.
Yeah, we're making money.
Bill Watts.
But it takes a long time to get this momentum. It takes a while for momentum to build up like that.
Great job out of you, Conrad.
Just keep that. I was just a student listening to them. Voices of Wrestling gets the full credit. Nice. Shout out to them. Love to them. If someone clips this, tag them in it, make sure that they get their credit for it. Clown, much love to you, brother. I see that you're in there. I see people acknowledging the tribal chief. And I'm going to go back to your question, T-Ferg. I actually started. SmackDown is babyface land until they shake up that roster. No one's title run is going to be good because there's no real heels. Whose fault is that? You did a draft.
Whose fault is that? Let me start by saying, McKinney, your point is correct, but they don't get a pass. They don't get a pass. They're the ones who are putting everything together. Like Conrad just said, they did a draft. They did a freaking draft.
It was right there for you. Right there for you. Like I said, to me, you booked your own issues.
Wow.
Just keeping it a buck with it. Lopez says at least Cody is the main eventing champ. Remember when Punk was the WWE champ? His match was always semi-main as Cena. This is the Randy Savage role. Think about it. Yo, I love Macho Man. When Sean brought up 1990, and we can always go back in history, I was like, yes, when he hit that splash, I'm like, please beat Hulk Hogan. I'm tired of this dude coming out dressed like a hot dog with the mustard and ketchup on. Pin this dude. I'm sick of it. And Warrior won. I was sitting there probably in my underwear like, yeah, shaking the ropes, being stupid on the couch. That was at least a run where you felt like they believed in him and it felt like passing of the torch. Randy Savage never felt like that. He needed Hogan's help to win the belt. He needed Hogan's help to keep the belt. He needed Hogan to team with him so he couldn't defend the belt. And Hogan was always out there. It's annoying. And they did the same thing to CM Punk.
Why are you making me laugh at my favorite wrestler, Macho Man Randy Savage?
I'm just telling you that it's not him. Randy Savage was excellent. Dude, give me Randy Savage, Bret Hart, Randy Savage, Honky Tonk Man. He delivered. The issue was you were so focused on Hogan, you couldn't make him less than. And that's what they did with Cena. No matter what Punk did, he could have sold 1 million shirts. Joe Compton, hear me out, because you had brought up money. He could have sold the most shirts, the most action figures. You could have put him on every video game cover, which they didn't want to do that for him either. And then what did he get for it? Nothing, because your mind was made up at who's the guy. And I respect sometimes like, no, we're going with this guy. That's who I said the guy is. That's what we're doing. I can get that if you promise someone that. But at the same token, you got to feel the stream out. Like we just changed on the dime. We started talking about old wrestling here for a second to make comparisons to today's product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I hear you. Warrior was hard to book. His attitude was a lot of the issues. Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely. He was going crazy. XG Dub, what's good?
What up?
Veer, he's coming to Raw. Chill. XG Dub said no. Quill says heck no.
Yeah, man.
Deanna said no. Nope. But I want Orton to take it off of him. I don't know if they go with Orton. That's where me and Sean, we tried to do some fantasy booking and it gets weird.
Yeah, it does. It's tough. I'm not saying it would be a bad move, but it's like, I don't know.
Let me see here. Warrior had better booked opponents. Matt says, yeah, that's how I feel. SmackDown is also limited on star power. SmackDown needs some people from Raw. Absolutely. And guess what? It's not going to get better next draft. You know why? Netflix is the priority. They are about to bamboozle Peacock out of that library. Think I'm playing. It's already set up internationally.
I think you're 100% right. Matter of fact, I think they would be silly if Netflix didn't try and get that library. And by the way, the only reason I would keep Peacock is if they keep the library, because I have Peacock just for that reason.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy my SVU. If you guys want to know other shows that people watch and stuff, I do enjoy that.
And the more you talk, the more you're right, because I'm probably gonna have to keep Peacock to see some Thursday night football games.
Amazon. No, Amazon's got the rights to that, but they do have the specials now, like where it's like, oh, this game's only on Peacock. What? Okay. What is this? Like the Christmas game or something? Right. BJ says, I'm going to disagree with you on that. Warrior was terrible compared to Cody. The booking was bad either way, but the matches are much better with Cody. Absolutely.
I disagree. I hear what you're saying, BJ, and believe me, let me go on the record. Like, holla, let me go on the record. I am not an Ultimate Warrior fan. Rest in peace. Warrior versus Ravishing Rick. Warrior versus Mr. Perfect, Warrior versus Hogan, Warrior versus Macho Man Randy Savage, Warrior versus Slaughter. Bro, like, and I agree, it's because there were better opponents. What I'm trying to say is, like, that's WWE's fault too. Like Conrad was saying, they don't get a pass because, oh, they don't have any heels. Whose fault is that?
Like I said, they made Sergeant Slaughter a heel, and then they built him up, and then I don't know. Back then, as a kid, like, did anybody really want to see Sergeant Slaughter? Like, I know he became the champ, but I was like, did anybody ask for this?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't hate it. I mean, as an adult looking back, Slaughter did the darn thing as it relates to making that. And by the way, another thing, bro, how aren't you supposed to? This is why I'm going to give Gomez a little bit of credit. Talking about 30 years ago now, like we're talking about us being 6 to 8 year old kids. Aren't you supposed to take advantage of what's going on in the world at the time?
You could. It's different now. Now I'm like, you got to definitely test beforehand. But back
then, that's a play. Now, here's the thing, bro. I'm going to answer your question, and I'm actually a little disappointed in you this evening for not thinking this way, unless maybe you're just, serving me up a nice, easy volley to slam away. Sergeant Slaughter was Mr. America outside of Hogan.
Yeah, he's Mr. G.I. Joe to me.
So, him turning on the country, that's brilliant. It's brilliant. Now, look, would you have rather had somebody amazing like Mr. Perfect be like the guy? But Mr. Perfect had no allegiance to like America or any other country. Like, he was just Mr. Perfect. Right? You had to have Sergeant Slaughter turn on his country. Was Sergeant Slaughter a technical wizard? No. Was Sergeant Slaughter super charismatic? No. But you know what Sergeant Slaughter was? A freaking military soldier that was American and came to the ring with an American flag, and all of a sudden he's with Iraq. That's freaking poetry in motion.
What up, Tokyo the Don? I see you.
I'm just saying, why doesn't like?
Well, let me say this. There's a reason they couldn't sell out WrestleMania 7 where they originally wanted to. That was the real issue. That's my issue with Slaughter. I'm like, that match just, I don't know if people bought into it enough to where they're like, yeah, Hogan and but that might have been the beginning of Hogan fatigue too, where it was like, maybe this is too much. I don't know who to put the blame on.
The reason they didn't sell out 100,000 tickets for WrestleMania 7 in the LA Coliseum has nothing to do with Sergeant Slaughter. I'm tired of that narrative being pushed, bro. It's because somebody might have died, bro. That's why. What is the thing about LA Coliseum that's different? LA Coliseum is an open stadium. LA Knight. Where the heck did that come from? Sergeant Slaughter was the most believable character. Think about this, bro. Think about this. This is so much fun for me. You can tell I light up like a Christmas tree when we talk about stuff like this. Slaughter, I believe Slaughter worked for Iraq, bro. I believe General Adnan worked for Iraq. I believe the Iron Sheik worked for Iraq. Sergeant Slaughter, I'm going to paint a picture for you, my brother. I'm going to paint a picture for you with your $1,000 Gucci shades on. All right? Gucci glasses on. Open arena. Wartime. Iraqi sympathizer. You better bring that event indoors, bruh. You better.
I'm not buying it.
Oh,
I don't believe that. I don't believe that it was because of the. You know how they said that there was a threat.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't believe that there was a threat.
Oh, Conrad.
You know why? I want you to go back and look at the ticket sales beforehand, because the tickets
wasn't going as well as they wanted it to go. But you can't tell me that the Iraqi situation wasn't on people's minds. Oh, don't you dare tell me that wasn't a thing. The Super Bowl. See, now you're gonna get me going into real sports now. Can I go there? I'm gonna go there.
Go ahead.
The Super Bowl was a big issue that year, bro. It was a big issue. The Super Bowl in Tampa, Florida. My Giants versus your Buffalo Bills. How cool is that? My Giants versus your Buffalo Bills. There was a security issue, bro. So you're telling me 2 months later there wasn't going to be a same type of situation?
I find it tough to believe.
Oh, come on, Conrad.
Am I saying that he didn't get death threats? No, but I think they're overplaying why they had to move for, oh my goodness, we can't possibly do this show. All right, cool.
All right.
We can't continue on. Oh, what about the Nasty Boys? What will the children think? Like, come on, bro.
See, now you're being sarcastic. That's not.
I am. Sorry, Pity City. My apologies to the Nasty Boys.
You know what? I'm sick and tired of this crap because now, you know what? I'm taking 30 more seconds, damn it. Let me tell you something. WrestleMania 7 was a good freaking show.
I love that show.
Tell me what. WrestleMania 7 was a good show. You had Macho versus Warrior in the career match. You had Hogan versus Slaughter. You had Perfect versus Bossman. You had the Rockers versus Barbarian and Haku. You had LOD versus Power and Glory. You had the Nasty Boys versus Heart Foundation. You had Tito versus Mountie. It was a good show. And it would have sold 100,000 tickets if we weren't in the middle of war. God bless America. Probably wouldn't have, but I think I think it had something to do with it.
Yeah, slightly, but like I won't get too deep into it. I love WrestleMania 7, by the way. WrestleMania 7 is a sad show for me though when I look back at the card, just because if you just look at who's passed away since then, it's like wow.
Oh
it's
well,
like
WrestleMania. You know what does that for me, bro? WrestleMania 5.
Yeah. It's real sad. We see like Hercules Hernandez and all those guys, or British Bulldog. You're like, man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect just hurts, man.
It does.
Let me see. No, it's documented sales weren't going well. Yeah. Yes. Delayed grants. What's good? Apparently, there truly was a threat. Yeah. I'm not denying that there was. Like I said, I've got stuff for you guys if you want to see it, but I just believe that it was amplified. They're like, that was the excuse to get skedaddle. Let's get out of here.
All right. Yeah. Well, they definitely were going to run with that compared to we only sold 15,000 seats.
Yeah. And back in the day, the houses were everything.
Yeah.
Y'all keep talking about the 80s. I'm going to call up the Outrunners. Did you see them on Collision?
Nah.
So they're like I don't want to say they're kind of a tag team that often puts other people over. We'll just say they're carpenters. We'll say in pro wrestling. Trying not to say the J word anymore, but they come out, they flex. My name's Turbo, and my name's this. My name's Max, and they come out and they just did like an old school vignette, like stealing some dude's hat, throwing it between each other, like they're bullies and stuff. It's hilarious. They wrestled FTR on Collision. It was a really good match.
I'm gonna check that out now. All right,
they're in OVW as well. If you ever want to see them wrestle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And Everrise, yeah, Matt Martell, you know they were 80s fans. The 2.0 in AEW. Now I
feel like in a lot of ways I was born 10 years too late, bro. I was born 10 years too late. I wish I grew up in the 70s where I could have been an adult for the 80s.
Really?
Because imagine.
That's Sean's words, not mine.
Look, am I thankful I'm 38 instead of 48? Yes. But my point I'm trying to make is, imagine being a young adult when Macho Man Randy Savage was the World Wrestling Federation champion.
Them 80s sound wild, dog. I don't know if I wanted to be. I remember as a kid some of that stuff that was going on. I'm like,
you're talking about being outside. I'm talking about wrestling.
I'm talking about being at a party. What are y'all doing?
Touche.
Going skiing? Techno Team 2000, Turbo Floyd, and Truth Magnum.
Yeah, but to bring it back home though, Cody Rhodes' reign hasn't been entertaining like that, man. And it's like, for me, it is about the opponents, but WWE has to take some culpability for the fact that they haven't put good opponents in front of them.
I think a big thing too is people have to realize the difference, and I talk about this all the time when we refer back to. I know we're doing like a 6-pack reunion on Narcolepsy Boys channel soon here. I believe on the 22nd.
22nd.
Malik, don't say I never promoted you, bro. when you talk about stuff like that, I do think it's important to see the eras that we come from, because I get offended a little bit when people say like, "Oh, this is so much better than the Attitude Era," and I'm like, I know that you can make fun of the hand and everything, but I'm like,
take it easy.
You weren't there when, if you didn't talk about wrestling on Tuesday, you weren't like being talked to that day too much. Like, people are like, "Oh, you missed Raw? Come on, bro." Even the girls knew, like, if you wanted to talk to the guys, they were like, "Yeah, let's talk Raw." Did you see? I saw Stone Cold come out with the beer truck, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
You took the words. That was my next point. I was about to say, even the young ladies were feeling Stone Cold and The Rock and had something to talk about.
Don't get me wrong. The success of this is amazing. It's amazing. And shout out to
but I'm sick of this, bro. I'm sick of this. See, me and you, Conrad, have a very unique advantage. And that advantage is this. We were born in a time where we were just young enough to remember the old days, and just old enough, let's reverse that. Just young enough to remember the new days and old enough to remember the old days. Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. And at the end of the day, right, if Hogan, Savage, and Elizabeth were in 2024, chat, another question, yes or no? Indulge your boy Sean for a second. Leave this graphic up one more second, Conrad. If Macho Man, Hogan, and that Elizabeth saga happened in 2024, would it have not gotten 60 million social media views? The answer is 100% yes. 100. If you're telling me, oh, I'm fired up now, Conrad. You can take it down for me because I want to see your face, brother. If you're telling me that Liv Morgan, Dominic, and Rhea is entertaining, you can't tell me that Macho, Elizabeth, and Hogan wasn't entertaining.
I think it's one of the best storylines they ever told. I think
this whole narrative, oh, it got 60 million views on social media. So what? So you're using that, not you yourself, Conrad, but you're using that in general. Oh, well, see, WWE didn't get any kind of ratings like that back in the day. Social media didn't exist back in the day.
I'll defend it a little too, that social media is the new way to consume this as well. Like I said, they're doing this. They're teaching you how to consume their product via YouTube, via clips, via Instagram, however you watch. They want your eyeballs on it. That's why they're trying to be everywhere. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Follow me here. Follow me there. You see the things that pop up underneath us. We're doing the same thing. Follow us. Follow us. Follow us. And you're getting a lot of answers here already. Delay Gratz says yes. Shout out to my brother Delay Gratz. Appreciate you, family. Same gear and everything. I'm not playing. Oh, he's talking about something different with Joe Compton. Man, during the Attitude Era, my mom, big Stone Cold fan. Every action figure of Stone Cold she bought, she taped the picture that came with it on the room of her wall. Woo! You don't get that no more. Is this the same as Rhea versus Liv with Dom? LOL.
Well, he's saying, isn't it? And the answer is, yeah. It's in the same ballpark. But my point, that's not the point I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to say is, if Liv, Rhea, and Dom is entertaining, which I'm admitting that it is, Conrad, I've been on the record and said Liv, Dom, and Rhea has been pretty good.
Yeah, you said it for weeks. I was the one who was more like, you better ease up a little.
But if Liv, Dom, and Rhea is entertaining, what does that make Macho, Liz, and Randy?
Classic, because it's the blueprint. It's the blueprint. And
I gotta recognize, man. Listen to the old heads, man. We're 38. We're not 58. We're not old fuddy-duddies, man. We were kids when this stuff was popping, bro. And 80s and 90s wrestling, bruh, like how dare you say with such vigor that whatever era was better than the Attitude Era? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? People say it with their chest out. Yeah, this is better than the Attitude Era. Are you dumb?
I'm just saying, if we're using numbers and facts, I mean, that popularity was off the charts then. And Golden Era gets disrespected sometimes too. I'm like, do you guys understand that, like, My mom knew who Andre the Giant was. She was like, "Oh yeah, Andre the Giant's wrestling tonight." And I'm like, "How does she know that?" Even as a little kid, I was like, "How do you don't watch this with us? How do you know that he's wrestling tonight against Hulk Hogan?" Like they knew back then.
Just because, and now I'm gonna sound like a real grandpa, Conrad. Just because you can sit up here and YouTube your favorite clips, while I had to sit up here and wait to watch it on the news, don't sit up here and doodle all over it, because that's another thing you need to realize. Hulk Hogan was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, bro.
Yeah. Listen, I just watched Chi-Town Rumble last night, and something I had noticed immediately, the music's different. So when you go back and watch it, it's a different feeling for you maybe than it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the cool music that they were using back then. It's that, because I was watching Chi-Town Rumble, and I'm like, yo, is that the same music they use for Bill Watts Wrestling Company when it starts up? I'm like, yo, y'all couldn't make a different song for these? Like, no one...
Well, those little idiosyncrasies, you like that, right? Those little idiosyncrasies are the reason why WWE won. WWE was always ahead of the game when it came to music. The only other company that was really popping with music was WCCW.
Yeah, and then ECW did it the best way.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman's dad, good lawyer. Enter Sandman. No, that was intermission music. What are you talking about? The stadium just played that. It wasn't me. Heyman is the best ever if you ever needed it. I want to go back to T. Ferg's question. I didn't forget you, T. Ferg. What up, fellas? How many Bloodline members are coming to WWE? I don't know how many more are going to get added here, Sean. And he says, is this storyline going to go on for another decade? I've seen people say that this is the never-ending story for WWE.
I'm going to say something that you're probably not expecting. I think this should be it. I think you have Jey Uso and Sami Zayn at your disposal, and I think we need to wrap this thing up. I really do. I know they're talking about Zilla. If Zilla needs a job or Zilla has an opportunity, I'm not trying to take no food off of nobody's plate. Don't get me wrong. But to answer the question, because I think this is where T. Ferg is going, like, how long is this going to... I'm kind of imagining his... T. Ferg, let me know if I'm wrong. I think his energy is kind of like, yo, how many more bloodlines are coming to WWE? Is this storyline going to last for... Like, that's the energy I'm getting from it, Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the energy, I agree. Like, you gotta wrap this thing up, bro. Like, you got Jay and Sammy, you got Jimmy also laying in the weeds. It's time to kind of like reel this thing in a little bit. What do you think?
I feel like you have room. Here's the thing, I'm more of what the people want. If the people are feeling it, then ride it out. But there's gonna come a point to where I would imagine WWE's fans get tired of it. And yo, listen, you guys know. I think me and Sean have been pretty fair the last couple of weeks to WWE, but I'll say this. I do think their fans accept stuff way longer than most because, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're here with Roman. What else are we doing with this? Eventually, don't you guys get sick of this? Like someone... For Cody fans have to be like, dude, I'm so sick of the bloodline. If you're not feeling Roman still and you're like, Cody should be put, you got to be like, yeah, I'm not feeling this. Come on.
Right.
Go back to this. But it'll be interesting. Does Zilla need this? Maybe Zilla wants to do his own thing. I don't know. If it's hot, he'll probably want to be a part of it. If the NWO's hot, I'm want to be in it. But if it's not,
I have a very challenging question for you, Conrad. And it's a question that's going to challenge your booking skills as well as challenge your ability to impress me.
Okay.
No one has been more critical of Cody Rhodes' championship reign than yours truly. How would you get Sean Hubbard to begin enjoying Cody Rhodes' championship reign? What would you do?
For me, I think that I would have to find a way to put them back together. And I'm talking about the bloodline to where Cody and them begin to trust each other again. Even if it's in small things, big time tag matches on B pay-per-views, I think you should do the Mega Powers kind of reunion with Roman and Cody. There's some bite left to that. And how I would tease it is Roman looks at the title, he wants it, but Roman keeps getting sidetracked. His side mission right now is going to be this bloodline civil war, and then eventually, if you smell what the Rock is cooking. So maybe you have the Rock come back in, and I don't know who the Rock could team with. You got to find someone who's a big nasty heel to go right along with him. Maybe it's Solo, maybe it's Jacob Fatu. But Rock and Jacob Fatu against them at like the Chamber, maybe. I don't know. You'd have to. I'd have to really get into it, but there's stuff there.
I like what you gave me right there. I'm a secondary follow-up question. how long does this bloodline thing play out?
I think until Mania.
And then we finally start veering away, because we're talking about 5 years now.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to. I think you're gonna end up with the Usos back together, and then you got Roman over here. And I think they're always gonna call it the bloodline after this, but you gotta push away from it a little bit and get people going. And you can do that with a draft.
Well,
or trade.
Right. Hashtag what draft, right?
Yeah, and that's me trying to make sense of this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to the comment section here real quick. Good question, T-Fer. Good question.
Yes.
McKinney says, go back and check the ratings for NBC on Saturday Night Main Event. I believe the numbers are equivalent to today's number. Do you remember the number offhand?
33 million.
Jeez Louise, he's good, right? 33 million people watched that show where there were two of them, dude.
Yep.
Shut up. You ever heard of twins, you idiot?
Look at the $100 bills coming out of his pocket. Shut up.
I was listening to another podcast talk about, remember when Hogan got teleported into the Dungeon of Doom? This is how bad it was. Sorry, WCW, that you got to feel this tonight.
Funny. Yo.
He touches the water. It's not hot. I'm like, what?
That's
did
hilarious.
You say that?
That is hilarious.
God, dude. Delayed Grant says the Attitude Era was pop culture phenomenon. That's why The Rock was on SNL while still a wrestler, not a Hollywood actor.
Absolutely.
True that. He's asking, did OVW fill up that arena yet? Better call up Tony and try to get Yuka Sakazaki or someone to fill that bad boy up. I don't know. Last I saw, the ticket sales weren't doing too well. I hope they fill it up, though. I'm cheering for him. Deanna says, depends on what story they want to tell. The Attitude Era captured the minds of the masses more because there was less available for us. But wrestling-wise, it is not better than today's athletes. No, today's athletes are one of a kind. But I'm saying, do not just start poo-pooing on Stone Cold just because you thought it wasn't hot. Go watch Backlash 2000. The camera was shaking then too. I mean, really shaking. If you compare this roster to SmackDown's roster, the Raw roster overlaps SmackDown. Yes, I see people saying it. Let's see here. Senzilla and Tala Tonga. Oh, please don't call him that already. I hate that name. Tala Tonga to NXT to start something there. But no more people should get added unless they feel Tongaloa ain't it and swap him out. Maybe.
Well, they might have an issue with Jacob Fatu. Hopefully he gets healthy.
Yeah, we don't know what the situation is. If he's actually hurt, is it part of the story? If SmackDown was more like Raw, maybe we would not have this conversation. That's true. T-Ferg says, Hubs, you're right. Don't mind the story, but it's been going on since the pandemic.
No doubt, T-Ferg.
Joe Compton, just when people get tired of the bloodline, WWE finds a way to add some spark and reignite it and keep it going. I do agree with Joe Compton, too. They do find a way to kick out every time. Cody and Orton is the feud I'm waiting for when it comes to Cody's reign.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm that hyped for it, though. I know a lot of people are leaning into it, Ray.
But you have to. But see, to me, it's like Roman Reigns 1,316 days. Like, how long is Cody Rhodes' reign gonna last?
I think a year at best. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
I don't see it. Guy Will Gamble said Europe was good. Conrad and Shauna chat. I'm fresh off a torn Achilles in basketball.
Oh, no.
Get well, Guy Will Gamble. But I'm doing the Cena training. I don't know how he did it. He's Superman. But I hope you're getting well, and I hope you get that Superman speedy recovery.
Yeah, get well soon, man. Get well soon. Real talk.
Cena's starting to train to be back by the Rumble. Let's go. It's not hot, he says. He paid for plastic surgery. Hogan said. Today's athletes are one of a kind. Shout out to RVD. Yes. Last I checked, our WrestleTix OVW sold 856 tickets with over 3,500 tickets left to sell. Gotta promote. Call up TK. Maybe he can help you. Work with someone. Call up WWE.
100.
I think Cody Rhodes loses at next year's Backlash, Byron Cutler says.
Nothing good ever happens at Backlash unless it's the year 2000, Byron. But I like what you're thinking.
Bring back the hooks. Let's look at Kevin.
Oh, baby.
Owens, Cody Rhodes. I was bringing this up I saw a lot of arguing online about this, Sean, what was the argument? Oh, and forgive me, we're going to do a comparison. I know this might be what you call a whataboutism, even though I think it's a wrestling to wrestling comparison.
Okay.
Hikaru Shida just lost the match. How was she getting a title shot against Mercedes Moné? Well, Mercedes Moné and her are going to have a match, right? Whatever. There's a promo for it. You guys can go watch it. I'm not going to argue that. But then I hear, this made sense. Cody told Nick Aldis that this is what he wanted. And I'm like, wait, so Roman Reigns wouldn't be the contender, logically speaking?
Like, come on, let's be serious. Exactly.
The guy who was champ for 4 years. No, I'm giving my friend Kevin the title shot. That's great and all, pal. And I like that they were like, I still don't like Roman Reigns, as they should. That's fine. But at the same token, Kevin Owens also acknowledges that he didn't deserve it. But isn't that the same thing? Like, can't we just enjoy these things? Can't we? And that's why I made the comparison. It wasn't yay AEW, boo WWE. It's, dude, relax, people.
Agreed.
All right? Relax. One match is happening on a weekly TV show. This other one's happening on a B pay-per-view. Calm your horses. I don't know how you felt about this, Sean, though, going into this. Is KO the right guy? Like, I feel like this is a little misdirection for this Orton thing that we all know is coming.
Look at me.
That's the next shirt. I'm telling you guys, look at me.
There is nothing, and I'm talking about Jey Uso, the whole nine. There is nothing that would make my heart sing more than seeing Kevin Owens turn heel and win that championship. Oh, I know. Is it going to happen? Probably not. The only one of those things is going to happen. That's a heel turn. But I would love if Kevin Owens cheated to beat Cody Rhodes. That would make me so happy. My God. But realistically, I do think a heel turn's coming.
With Randall?
No. I'm talking about Kevin Owens. I told you that before.
No, I don't. See, I think it's perfect for Randy.
Okay.
Randy Orton has a reason to be mad.
Randy Orton's going to Berlin already for a championship.
I got screwed to get that match. Which this is going to also be why you don't like him. Because you were given a title shot.
Okay.
Yeah. But how come I had your back every time too? Why didn't you offer me the title shot? The jealousy's right there instantly. You didn't offer me a title shot. You made me go all the way to Raw.
Okay, you're not okay. Only because
this is WWE logic, not my logic.
No, I'm saying you're a week too late. You can't have Randy go to Raw and challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship before Cody makes his announcement. The way your storyline would have worked, which I like, but the way your storyline would have worked would have been if Cody told Kevin he was the guy before Randy went to go challenge Gunther.
I think it still works though, because he's gonna view it as, wow, you gave that to Kevin, so when I get back, you didn't offer it to me.
Okay.
You didn't say anything to me.
Okay.
And I think he'll feel slighted. And I taught you everything you know. And you.
Well, no, the whole legacy storyline writes itself. I'm just saying, do you think it's gonna happen soon?
Yeah. I think by Bad Blood we'll know for sure that it's going down. I would hope, but crazier things have happened. Where was
that sounds like a good idea. So,
where was the complaining about Randy Orton, a SmackDown wrestler, getting a world championship at a guy he technically lost, even if the shoulder was up? I don't know. They tried to explain it, so I'm done arguing about this brand split. I'm done arguing about the AEW rankings. I'm done with all of it. Get rid of it if it ain't working. Just
to
stop.
Me, WWE, every show is a super show from now on. No, there is no brand split, in my opinion.
Yeah. And like I said, we'll be here all day harping on it and trying to figure it out. But it looks like they kind of use reverse brain power on Kevin Owens. Like I said, he didn't want to take the title shot. They told him, well, I was going to go to Roman Reigns. And then he kind of looked like, well, if it's to make sure Roman doesn't get it, I'm in. Because just because you just turned babyface doesn't mean you didn't do all the stuff that you did for the past 4.5 years. So okay, cool. I like it. We'll see. I hope that Kevin and Cody can put on a great match and this helps Cody's reign. But I feel like there's only Kevin, Orton. After that, maybe you do like.
What you said earlier, bro. It's what you said earlier. If you smell
I'm just saying, do you even have time to give Andrade or Carmelo Hayes a match in between? Are they strong enough to go up against Cody?
They're not strong enough at this point, unfortunately. No disrespect, but they're not.
Interesting. Let's go here. Hold on here. Cody's a Nightmare Family. I also like when Cena gifted Bryan a title match at SummerSlam. See, yeah, I don't know.
Worked. I like what you're saying, Ray, but that only worked because Money in the Bank was in their back pocket.
Yeah, and Cena was right there, and it just made you feel like, oh, he gave him something. Honestly, looking back, you probably could have had Mark Henry really win that title at that point. Thinking about it, but I get Danielson was the way they wanted to go. What rankings AEW haven't acknowledged since Double or Nothing? Yeah, burn those rankings up, man. It ain't needed. Donnie says, "What up, Clash? Kevin needs to turn heel. He agrees with you."
What up, Donnie?
I think it would be a better look for him. I prefer Kevin Owens as a heel, but he's been stuck. I hate that he's stuck in this bloodline vortex. He can't get out of this feud, bro. What else has he done? Can you who's the last person Kevin Owens feuded with that wasn't in the bloodline?
Sami
Austin?
No, that's right. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin, yeah.
That's crazy.
I was gonna say I said Sami Zayn, but that's the year before 37. It was Stone Cold.
That's crazy that they did that. It's a foregone conclusion that Cody is winning that match. There are no reasonable contenders for Cody. Yeah. Randy versus Cody has to happen. We need that match. Yes. I see people saying that same thing about the Cena and Randy match too. That match, I promise you, like, I really feel this way. I don't need to see that again. Ever again. They overdid that match to death.
Agreed.
Cody already beat Carmelo Hayes anyway. Good point, Quills.
Factuals.
Cody is winning that match. Yes. Okay. That was him repeating what he had said. Kevin Owens feuded with, I forgot, Logan Paul, and they had that mini feud with Theory and Waller. Yes. There you go. Matt Lopez. Good memory right there, brother. Good memory. Owens looking like Razor Ramon with all these Royal Rumble title losses.
Ooh.
Sad day.
Yeah.
Sad day, Chico. Shout out to Razor. I just watched like a little. Someone put up like half of his thing on like TikTok or Twitter, and I ended up watching a big piece of it, showing him as like the Diamond Stud and how they created Razor, and I was like, man, that's so cool, man.
Another idea that WWE stole.
What, the Scarface?
Well, Diamond Stud was essentially Razor Ramon.
Oh yeah. Bro, what have I told you? WWE are the best people to take an idea that's not theirs and then make you think it was theirs.
Exactly.
They are great at that.
Razor in 1996 when he went to WCW was just emulating Razor Ramon. We're gonna sue. Well, when Scott Hall was Diamond Stud, he had the toothpick, he had the little hair. He had the swagger, and he talked that way. But now you're telling me that WCW stole from you? Give me a break.
Hey, yo.
Are you kidding me? Only difference was that Diamond Dallas Page was introducing him.
Let's see here. Byron Cutler says, if I was booking WWE, we'd have a 2017 to 2024 roster with 300 people. That's a lot of bread, Byron. That's the other thing. We're about to get into that in a second, too. I prefer KO as a heel. Love what he did to Cena. Greatest NXT debut ever. I wanted to cry when he beat Sami Zayn the way he did. Sami Zayn's the best. Like, I felt pity for him that night.
Sympathetic figure.
Yes. More on him momentarily as well once we run down Raw. But let's talk free agent talk, Sean. I feel like we're cooking tonight. This might be one of the better.
We are cooking.
Speaking of cooking, let's talk about Fuego cooking. We have Pentagon and Rey Fenix. This is free agent talk. I put it as AEW, but this is going to be some free agent talk for everybody. Pentagon, Rey Fenix, Sean, they are rumored to be signing with WWE. Yep. They have trademarked the names King Fuego and I'm sorry, what's this other one? Is it Rey Fuego?
Rey Fuego.
Yes. Entertainment and services, according to PW Insider. Could this be their new ring names? They always have trouble with the names. And some people believe that Conan putting out that tweet, what goes around comes around, might have sent the people who he used to be an agent for to WWE. He might even still be their agent. I don't know.
This is the most poorly kept secret. I mean, it's very obvious what's going to happen.
Please.
NXT, LWO.
So you think they're going to NXT first?
I think they're probably going to go to NXT first, but whenever they end up on the main roster, it's going to be, oh, Rey Mysterio, I want to introduce my friends, Mirasa.
I mean, Conan and Rey are pretty tight.
My point is, why do we have to be boxed into these stereotypes, bro? Every Latino wrestler doesn't have to join the LWO or Legado de Fantasma.
I agree with that. I really want the Lucha Bros to not do that at all and kind of stand up.
I would like that too, but do you believe WWE is going to do the right thing and let them do their thing? No.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I think if they play this smartly, you're going to sell a lot of those Pentagon masks. If you play it smartly. You can't just have the tag division floating around out here and then they disappear for 6 weeks and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you guys are going to face Pretty Deadly. Like, what does that mean? That means
yes,
nothing. The Pretty Deadly, the musical. He brings up two people I didn't put down here. Ricochet, I think we know when to expect him. If you get that special bundle we were talking about, I think we'll see him on one of those shows. As far as Prince Puma, Motor City Machine Guns also sound like they might be WWE bound. Motor City Machine Guns only got one chance to get this right, I feel as well. They're not going to get.
They'll be NXT, and at this stage in their career, them being out of.
They don't need to be in NXT though, and I heard the Lucha Bros are refusing. Lucha Bros are. I heard that's part of the deal. They're like, no, I'm not going there.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm glad that that's not going to be the case. But I'm telling you, they're going to be in Legado de Fantasma or the LWO.
Also, you're not going to see the same Lucha Bros you've been seeing, folks. They're about to tell them to slow down. Pick 6 moves you like to do, and we'll show you the rest. Find the camera. That's it. That's it. I yelled about this, and I know I saw Jay Cargill telling people to get off of her, we'll say eggplant, about saying stuff about her, but I've been asking this question for a while. I was like, I'm glad Jade's on SmackDown. Where's she been? What's she learning? Physics in NXT? Put her on TV. She looks like $1 million. Like, the best thing for her is repetitions. I don't get it. Right?
That's how the song goes, by the way. I made it up.
Yo, I'm not going to lie. That's one of the better songs in the company. I'm not going to lie. Isn't it so weird that Ray was against the LWO and now he's here like repping it? Probably for
real talk, though. I say this because I think they're better than that. And I don't think that Latino wrestlers should be categorized automatically to be in the LWO or Legado de Fantasma. I'm saying they deserve better, is my point.
Yeah, and I hope they don't do that. That's just me speaking as a fan. Like, don't make that happen. No. I don't want to see that happen. Matt Lopez brings up October 1st, NXT goes to the CW is going to be crazy debut for NXT if certain contracts are up before then. Could be. E says bring in Russo for Faction Wars and make Karrion Kross faction into the new DOA. No comment on that. Hubs, they're gonna go Street Rats. By the way, that new name for Judgment Day, if that is true, what they're going to do.
I didn't hear this one.
Oh yeah, someone said that one of the top names they're batting around was Street Trash for the thing, and I was like, why would anyone call themselves that as a faction?
Well, I hope that's just a stupid rumor.
I hope so too. I'm going to chalk it up as that. Delay Grad said no wall-to-wall Canadian destroyers. I read the Lucha Bros were negotiating to go to the main roster instead of NXT. Thank you, McKinney. And they're established enough like AJ Styles to come right in and get busy. You have to. Pentagon's about to be 40, I think. So
True. But hit it up, Vito. Listen, real talk. All jokes aside, my prediction is that they will join the LWO, and that is a shame.
Clown says, say goodbye to Pentagon doing the Fear Factor. The package pile driver's done. He's not doing that. Maybe at WrestleMania. Oh, BJ, LWO B team theme coming.
Viva la raza.
Pentagon. Oh no, it'll be Rey Fuego. Fuego.
That's great.
More Fuego.
LWO.
Oh my goodness.
We're having fun tonight, man.
The Lucha Bros should stay in AEW. Quill says, we all know that WWE is not going to know what to do with them.
Facts.
We'll see. That's all I can say. Maybe this is the epiphany that they need. Delay Grat says Triple H book segregation.
Hey, I don't see the lies.
Street Rats was someone watching Disney Aladdin. Oh my goodness. I definitely just saw the I just went to put that movie up for a second the other day. I did not know there was a warning on it when you click on it on Disney Plus now. Warning people about what was said there. Motor City Machine Guns to WWE. Why? Machine Guns are trying to get the biggest bang for their buck. No pun intended. Like they're trying to get the most amount of money. They've never been to one of the major companies. They've been loyal.
Their moment because they're getting older.
Yeah. Every other Penta move is a pile driver. B package or otherwise. Made in Japan. Yeah. Rob, what's up, Rob? He says I could realistically see them doing a short stint in NXT to get acclimated to the cameras and production, but they'll be main roster in a short amount of time. As long as they are away from that dumpster fire, Jack. All right, trolling now. I know you trolling. The Lucha Bros and Motor City Machine Guns in WWE will be badly watered down versions of their former selves. I think Motor City Machine Guns will be fine. The Lucha Bros.
They'll be the NXT Tag Team Champions.
Oh my goodness, the Lucha Bros will join up as Andrade as Hitmen. Please don't, McKinney, do not feed them bad ideas. That does not leave this chat. Please no one tweet that.
I don't think he's that far off base, honestly.
Always thought TK should have given the Lucha Bros singles runs to be fair to WWE.
He did get, I think one of them got a singles run. One of them was the international champion or something.
Listen, here's what I've said about this, and we're going to get on to other people. Sean, could the Lucha Bros have been treated better? Yeah, singles-wise, sure. You could have maybe gave Penta a run at a different title or whatever. And it said Penta's the one who really wants to leave. And I get they did Pentagon Dark, and he probably was like, oh, I usually get the world title. I didn't get the world title here. Mm-hmm. You're also in AEW where the competition is like, match quality is really, really good, bro. Not that easy. But did Rey Fenix not get the international title for a little bit, even if it was for a couple weeks?
He did.
Did you guys not win the tag titles in one of the, I would say, top 10 tag team matches in the company, or top 10 matches, period, in the company?
Yeah.
Did you guys not win the trios belts with Pac? And then you got to put on a series of matches, which I still think I will disagree with, but a series with the Elite, best of 7, ladder matches and all that. They faced the Young Bucks how many times? I think they were treated well in AEW. And listen, there's nothing wrong with testing the waters on the other side. I'm not mad at it. I just hope that they treat them right because I'm a fan of Pentagon and Rey Fenix.
I'm telling you, they're going to be in the LWO. I do not trust. I don't see that. See, now it's time to get back to my normal self. Yes, Raw was good last week. Whoop-de-doo. I still don't trust WWE. And why should we? When people get brought in, 90% from other companies go to NXT. This is not like me just throwing hate, throwing shade. This is what happens.
That's me trying to sprinkle that Raw dust back on here.
Yeah.
Get it back.
No hate. Like, WWE's been doing well the last couple weeks, but at the end of the day, like, come on, bro. Like, the Lucha Bros are probably going to be on NXT unless it was in their contract, and if not, they're going to be in the LWO. Motor City Machine Guns will be your next NXT Tag Team Champions.
E says Motor City Machine Guns in their 40s. They can still take with AJ Styles. Is he on TV or at home playing Xbox? I think he's
haven't seen him. I don't know. He could be home playing Xbox.
Yeah, he's kind of been the guy to go and do something abroad. Him and Nakamura, that's what they've been using them for. WWE could definitely break up a tag team. Oh, don't even tell me this either. Breaking up tag teams for no reason. Yeah.
Hey, they're doing pretty well. Let's break them up.
I don't trust WWE with how they book tag teams. Look at what they did to DIY.
Look at what they did to DIY, yeah. But do I have to go there, Conrad? I've been real silent on the Uso talk today. But let's talk about it.
Oh, here we go. I was trying.
No.
Go ahead, get into it.
10 seconds or less, bro. Madison Square Garden, the Friday after Money in the Bank 2023. Uso! Or matter of fact, I even forgot the entrance of the.
That was right. No, you got it right.
Crowd goes nuts. I'm talking about Roman Reigns nuts. I'm talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin nuts. What happens a month later? They break up.
Do.
So my point is, like, why are we trusting WWE? Why? When it comes to tag teams, okay, let's be fair. When it comes to tag teams, why do we trust? I mean, I'm surprised Judgment Day didn't break up.
Yeah. McKinney says, I'm going to say it. When people like the Lucha Bros come in doing what they do in the ring for over 15 years, WWE is like a break on your bump card at their age, and you get paid. Sounds good. I just hope that you don't fall into the trap. Sometimes people fall into the trap, and they're just happy to be there.
Money isn't everything, but if you're trying to get paid, WWE is where to go. I'm not going to lie. But if you care about your craft and you care about being a star, I don't think WWE is where to go, because WWE already has established stars. And WWE has proven, this is where I would normally go on a Jey Uso rant, but I'm not going to. If you're not in their plans, they're not going to veer. They're not going to veer. Only time they veered is Cody Rhodes 2023 and Rock 2024.
That's a fact. Let's pull up another name. Ricky Starks. Shout out to our friends over at Dirt Sheet Radio. PW Insider, WWE are interested in signing several AEW wrestlers, including Ricky Starks. They certainly have interest in a number of AEW stars whose deals are close to expiring or have been off TV for some time. I think he's gone.
I think he's gone, and I think he's going to be right on CW.
Yeah, I mean, he's early 30s. Ricky can go out there and do his thing. I don't know how many others feel about Ricky, but you know what? Good for him. I saw much bigger potential for Ricky Starks. But once again, let's not act like this dude was treated horribly. Put with Taz. Always on TV for the most part until recently. He had championship runs with the tag titles with Big Bill. He got to wrestle MJF on one of their big Dynamite shows. He's not someone who they were just like, nah, whatever. You may feel that way, and I get feeling that way, but he got to feud with Punk, feud with Danielson, put him in big moments with Edge, Adam Copeland.
Clown, I see you, but that was 10 years ago. You're right, but that was 10 years ago.
AEW pays people, though. WWE was undercutting people. They raised raises when they found AEW was paying. Yes, that's the beauty of having two companies. Rob says, #free Ricky. Contract tampering. Going back to the Lucha Bros? Yes, possibly. I believe they all contract tamper, though. I think they contract tamper Jeff Hardy when he was in WWE via Matt. And I also believe here that Conan is assisted. And Conan, I don't know how you feel about Conan. If you want to give any thoughts about this, because Conan's been talking a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah, he has.
Did you see the why Cody left? Cody and Brandy.
I did. I mean, he talks a lot of crap. I think one thing I get the impression only. I feel like everything that Conan speaks, I think he believes it. I think he says what he thinks is the true issue in the situation at hand. My point is, before you go, bro, I don't think he's just doing it just for clicks.
Sometimes I think he is. I don't know. Conan's weird with me. Like, I've always had a hard time trusting him from past stories from other people about Conan. There was like a lawsuit in TNA that Dutch Mantel had mentioned one time. And I was like, oh, that sounds crazy. And he was like, sorry, Dutch, I had to get paid, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay, that's weird. But
credibility shot.
Yeah, and I just think Conan doing this, why would Tony Khan? Yo, bro, if I'm Tony Khan, I already told this to a bunch of people. I think yo, I'm taking Vikingo from you, bro. Why did you do that to me? You played me? All right, I'm about to show you what this game is then. We two could play this game. Vikingo, welcome to Ring of Honor. You know what I mean? Like, I instantly, like, come on over here. I'll use your talents.
Right.
And oh well, why would you do that? Then Tony's going to be the bad guy to them. They already poo-poo on AEW on their podcast, which is not good. You know what I'm saying? Like
facts.
I don't know. I don't know what this means. And if he's helping in hopes to become NXT AAA, and you know, I kid about this, but I'm even ready to start calling TNA like NXT TNA. Like, if you guys want that label, be my guest. NXT Noah. I know that they're doing their N1
for the last time, NXT has gotten the far better deal as it relates to the talent trade. Let's cut the crap.
And listen, you know, we've championed TNA over here. I'm not mad that they're doing better. I'm happy for them. But at what price are we doing better? How much work are you doing now for them? Just think about
Joe Hendry might as well be an NXT guy right now.
Yeah. BJ, another good point. He won the Owen too. Yes, he did. What goes around comes around. Yeah, it might happen to you too. I'm telling you, they might just take Vikingo and some other top people. They took Beast Mortos already. Ricky is sitting and catering, chilling until he can bounce to NXT. Would be a great spot, or even TNA, but he's not happy. He has to leave to get better. Hey, listen, that might be the same thing. Who knows who else is going to be gotten? Maybe Miro's gone too. Like, here, have fun.
Right, have fun, exactly. But I'll tell you one thing, Rusev Day will be on NXT, not on Raw or SmackDown.
Delayed Grat says Conan is salty since AEW started working with CMLL. It's, hey, FTR dropped the tag titles to Dragon Lee, then he became a WWE superstar. Yeah, TK had a right probably to be mad about that. NXT TNA. Conan put Ray in the Hall of Fame. Did someone whisper in his ear? Hologram used to be in AAA, right? Yeah, I believe so. Shout out to Hologram, too. I like him. Wardlow I got up here next. I feel like he's a tailor-made WWE guy, Sean. Like, I know everyone can see you with your head down.
Oh, sorry.
Don't get caught in the waves, y'all. But
I thought I was off camera. You know how I feel about Wardlow, brother.
Do you think he'd be better off in WWE?
I think that he's a more of a WWE guy. If that makes any sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, they've made errors. Like, and some of them aren't AEW's fault either. Like, you getting your passport stolen before we go international for a pay-per-view, I don't know what to say about that.
What the heck? Yeah.
MJF pulling what he did in your biggest moment also sucked. Like, because the attention was on MJF and he took it away from you. I get it.
Facts.
There was nothing that anyone could do about it. He made a play for himself. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go after him. There's another name that I kept seeing today, and Sean, I know some people who know WWE people, and I saw a hint today about someone else possibly leaving. He's from my neck of the woods. Mm-hmm. Daniel Garcia. He's definitely going to NXT if they get him. 25. He's got a lot going on for him in the world of pro wrestling. He's a very talented wrestler. I don't know. I feel like he's conflicted, I've heard. Like, he keeps going back and forth on what to do.
Well, he's conflicted because he knows if he goes to NXT, he's going to be wrestling for the North American Championship for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what part of this don't we understand? Unless you're one of the top-tier athletes in the world in professional wrestling, unless your name's Ronda Rousey or Jade Cargill or somebody of that ilk, you're going to NXT, bro. You are going to NXT. And I don't care how much sauce they put on it. I don't care that they're going to the CW. I don't care that they're black and gold again. You know what they are? They are developmental. And when you go from a company where you are featured on a television show every week or every other week on the main show, and then you go to NXT, that should tell you what they think of you, Conrad. They're telling you, you are not good enough to be on our main show. You are going to the minor leagues. And I'm tired of this narrative. Oh, Sean's being a hater. Sean's talking bad about NXT. No, I'm not. NXT is the minor league of WWE. It's plain and simple. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. NXT is developmental.
Yes. McKinney said, "Yo, Zamir, does Hologram look like a thicker Fuego del Sol?" Fuego's been on Ring of Honor though. Shout out to my guy Fuego. Let me see here. Elite Easy E says Daniel would get a lot of experience in the PC, but I'd miss him in AEW with Yuta 2.0, etc. Yeah, I think if Garcia leaves, though, that I think Yuta climbs up to that spot, though, that he leaves open.
Probably.
He's probably going to get some more burn. So I guess I'm guessing from your thoughts here. So if you're Wardlow, you think WWE?
I think Wardlow, the difference between Wardlow and other people that we mentioned, like the Lucha Brothers, etc., Ricky Starks, etc., I think Wardlow needs NXT.
Yeah, I think Wardlow needs a fresh start, too. Like,
yes.
He needs a clean slate, and AEW can't provide that anymore because you've tried too many times. I also feel like with Ricky's bound to just be there. I feel like Bruce Pritchard and them have had conversations. Let's talk about more free agents. Bobby Lashley and MVP. You sent me a clip, Sean.
I did.
With Bobby Lashley discussing who he preferred booking-wise between Gomez and Triple H.
And Bobby Lashley said Gomez. And in some ways, I can understand where he's coming from.
I know we all want to bring up the bad times, too, with the sisters. And
it's a tough thing, but at the same time, like at the end of the day, you know what? Bobby Lashley has a point. I'm not trying to say who's better or worse. Like I said, when it's here and it goes to here, that doesn't mean that here is good. It just means it's better than it was before. Bobby Lashley's not satisfied or wasn't satisfied with his creative direction in WWE, and I'm sure he's not the only one who feels that way. At least he had the balls to admit it.
Yeah. And listen, y'all better be ready when MVP comes out with that Chris Van Vliet interview, because I'm pretty sure he's going to let it rip and finally say what he's too old to care at this point. Like, he don't care.
I love that, Conrad. I love that. He is too old to care. And I agree with you 1,000%.
He's going to let you know how he truly felt about the situation and what happened with it. And we'll see what happens. But where do you want to see Lashley end up? I feel like TNA, AEW, and New Japan have to be the top 3 spots for him. I know he's doing a boxing fight.
You're going to be surprised by my answer, because typically my answer is kind of traditionally AEW. I think the better spot for Bobby Lashley would be TNA. I think he has, obviously he has history there. There's a lineage. I think he fits directly and perfectly into their world championship picture. And I think it would be a very good thing for TNA as well.
Interesting. I kind of want to see him in New Japan. New Japan needs a monster right now, or someone like that. Lashley's going to get paid. And MVP was the first ever Intercontinental Champion in New Japan, for those that don't remember. They have history over there. So it'd be cool. I know he signed up for a boxing match already. Also, according to Talent Close, Tommy Billington, a.k.a. the Dynamite Kid, has been signed to AEW. I think this is a good pickup for them. I know some people were, why are they picking up more people? They need to get rid of more people. Man, we're talking about all these people WWE's about to get. AEW can't sign somebody?
Anybody, my answer to this is very quick. Anybody with a Hall of Fame lineage like this kid is going to be an asset to your company.
Go watch his match with Dax Harwood. Fantastic work. He's
a very talented kid, and it looks like his father, like, it's like he's like a spitting image of his dad. So
yeah, the snap suplexes are on point. Yeah. On point. Last thing I want to bring up for AEW. Remember what I was saying, folks. Might have been on here, might have been on the other show. But Globe Life Field Stadium is likely to be the venue for an AEW Dallas Stadium show, Fightful Select is reporting. Shout out to Sean Ross Sapp and them over there. I think this is perfect. Don't do the Cowboy Stadium. Do the baseball stadium. You're not going to fill up that 100,000 seat, but you might be able to fill this up.
About 60, 70,000 people.
I'm not doing all in. Yo, listen, next year, I'm changing all the locations. Do not go through with your traditional. I know that's what you want to do, Tony. There's no more going to Vegas. They're doing WrestleMania in Vegas. They're going to drain all that money and then say, see ya. Now they're going to England possibly for WrestleMania. Don't do all in over there. Do it here.
Agreed. I mean, you don't have to have all in be a London Wembley exclusive. You can have it in other venues.
Absolutely. Let's go and finish up here with the chat. E says, yeah, Triple H said congrats on beating our developmental. That's when you beat someone and then they don't want to say anything nice about it. Can't wait to see Bobby and MVP show up for GCW Bloodsport. That is true, Clown. That is good as well. AEW needs to push the House of Black and add Pac. Always felt like he belongs with them over the Lucha Bros. They might need to.
That actually sounds like a good idea.
You know what that means. Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews did re-sign though with AEW. Why?
Yeah.
He could have went back to WWE. At least that's what everyone was thinking.
And he would have had a ready-made storyline waiting for him.
You would think, but remember how he was always treated, even in the good days.
Yeah,
over there. He was never really Mr. We're gonna give you a shot. MVP is a nobody. He never had talent, like everyone who ever left WWE Shield. If Garcia leaves, that would be shocking. Bobby Lashley should go to New Japan. They could get the Hurt Business back together with Shelton. Dynamite Kid versus Takeshita was good. The OG Dynamite Kid is Tommy's uncle. Yes.
Okay.
And I think you said lineage, though, right? I mean,
I said lineage, right?
Yeah. The venue looks great. It's gonna look good at dusk. Gonna slightly disagree. Vegas is a destination. The money will always be there. Run that whenever you can. I don't know, man. I don't think it's smart after WrestleMania.
I think that you can have a pay-per-view that is themed to be a gambling pay-per-view in many places. You can be in Atlantic City. You can be in the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. You can be in Vegas. You can be in Dallas. You can be in California. There are many different famous gambling venues.
And here's why I say that too, Rob. How many times are you going to get on a plane to go to a wrestling show? You're not going to go to WrestleMania and then be like, well, let's come back for a double or nothing. Your money's gone.
Right.
Those tickets are so expensive now for WrestleMania. I don't see it. Lashley could be the new Bob Sapp. You know I'm a Bob Sapp guy. Those were hard times in New Japan. But yeah, that was great. Let's run down Raw real quick, shall we? Rhea Ripley's going to be opening up the show tonight. So you've got her. She'll be talking about that little jerk Dominic Mysterio. How could he? Her friend Damian Priest is going to be locking up with Carlito of the Judgment Day. He is now fully patched in. This one should be an exciting matchup. Any commentary, Sean? Feel free to
yeah, I'm just disappointed that they didn't go the route I thought that they should go. Carlito staying entrenched in the original team was, I think, a missed opportunity. I think he should have aligned himself with Rhea and Damian Priest.
Unless they do that, like I said, that street trash. I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know who's taking that. Some people said it was going to be Dominic and them, and I don't know. But yeah.
But it still doesn't make any sense because I thought that was a Gunther thing.
Yeah, about Priest.
Yeah.
That's weird. So, but the picture showed everyone in Judgment Day in it, so I don't know who's taking the name. Also tonight, hashtag what draft? Randy Orton appeared on Monday Night Raw. Let's go.
Hashtag what draft indeed.
We also have some tag team wrestling on tonight's show.
Yawn! Over
this Damage Control feud?
Damage Control should just vanquish themselves.
We've been saying this probably since episode 1. They I don't know. It's not working for me. Io's the only one that I feel like has the potential right now in the group.
Agreed.
Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks are going to be in a tag team match as well. We also have the Creed brothers taking on Otis and Tozawa. That should be fun. I guess they're going to try and get them back after they took an L to the Wyatt Six.
Right. Touche. I don't have a big issue with this. I think this has potential, but the question is what happens next.
Yeah, and is Wyatt Six done with Chad Gable and the Creeds? I think they should move on from it and don't do it.
Yeah, I think I think that was their WrestleMania last week on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, don't because they need wins now to be taken serious.
Yes.
What's their name? American Made. So someone already put him to Hogan's music from WCW.
He's American made. Let's see if this guy gets turned on by Xavier Woods.
Big O. I think you could use this as a storytelling device for them. Xavier Woods and Kofi don't have to beat each other up to have a breakup. But he could say, I'm requesting a trade to SmackDown, go over there for a little bit, then come back. But do you think Big O takes Big E's spot in the New Day and it works?
I think in a heartbreaking fashion, yes, because I don't think Big E will come back. I was kind of holding out hope, but I think for his betterment that he probably will sit out. And to answer your question, yes, I think that's what's going to happen, but I don't know if it's going to work as good. I mean, the New Day's chemistry was second to none. He had a good night last week. Again, like I said, similar to the Brunson Reed situation. Last week was good, but what are you going to do now?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the Big O. I would like E to endorse him. That's what I think they could bring them all back together, even for a short-term storyline. Like,
I would like Vicky to be their manager.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could do something with that. But what I'm saying is he endorsed him like, no, I want this brother to take my spot.
Okay, got you. Just like kind of like Ric Flair with
not C spot run. You got my spot in the Horseman. I always think of Arn Anderson when I say that. I don't know why.
Kurt Hennig was, God rest his soul, Kurt Hennig was like, yeah, I'll take your spot, all right.
They fooled me on that one. I was excited. And I think what probably will be the main event, we get a 2 out of 3 falls match with Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn. This should be a fun match. But we all know the result here.
We all know the result, but thanks to Conrad Cushman, I have a newfound respect for Sami Zayn. Unfortunately, I believe that he will be unsuccessful in his quest to regain the Intercontinental Championship.
Him and Jay are on a similar path, I will tell you.
I'm trying not to talk about him.
I know.
I've been doing good today.
Let's see here. McKinney says AEW kind of wore out its welcome in Marcus and they need to shake it up and do some different cities. Maybe this match will last longer than a commercial break. I sure hope so. Can't say what draft.
That was good.
It's documented that all disappears have an agreement on Randy being on Raw every week now. Oh, okay.
He's a Raw guy until Berlin, and he's back on SmackDown.
We'll see what SmackDown gets later. I'm waiting.
It's just me, Oos.
He'll be challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship here at Starrcade.
Bro. I want Jey Uso nowhere near that world title just for my own peace of mind because thank God, I thought they were going to have Jey Uso challenge Gunther in Bash in Berlin, right?
Yeah.
Which would have infuriated me. So I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Yeah, I think they knew, like, let's keep him hot.
Yeah, let's get ridiculous.
I can see him and Sammy going for the tag titles, though.
They are going to go for the tag titles, which is also a bunch of crap, but I guess I'll take what I can get.
E said Jimmy Hart wrote bangers. I legit thought they were called the American Males. Oh, no, not that.
American Males. By the way, what great lyrics on that song. American Males. American Males. American Males. American Males. Oh yeah, American Males. We're taking you on a ride, guys. We're taking you on a ride.
BJ said, do you guys remember when people got mad at WWE for not giving fair shots and for not giving the women more time? Why is it now? Why isn't it being said now that it's being reverted? Beats me, Beach. Beats me. You guys go enjoy Raw. Raw just started. Thank you for rocking with us. I won't say too much. I will say this. We appreciate you. Thank you for listening to us. And we'll be back next week live at 6:05. Me and Derek will be live coming up this Wednesday at 10:10. Make sure you join us. Check out Hubbonomics. I'm sure there's going to be a new one dropping at some point this
Friday, week. Another new episode.
Make sure you keep it locked with both of us. Other than that, Sean, I kind of want you to end with our usual phrase here.
Circle your calendar. The Thursday before Bash at Berlin. I'm saying it right now. The greatest, biggest giveaway in the history of Clash of the Podcast. Make sure you circle your calendar for that. Like I said, make sure you do what Conrad said. Check out him and Derek 10 p.m. on the Everything Pro Wrestling channel on Wednesday nights. We got a lot of stuff going on. We are approaching my favorite time of the year. College football is coming back in a month. Madden's coming out. NFL's back on TV for preseason. Baseball's about to start their playoffs. Before you know it, the Knicks will be back. I love this time of year. But you know what I love also? I love Clash of the Podcast, and I love being here with you guys every Monday night. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Conrad Cushman, my name is Sean Hubbard. We are Clash of the Podcast. God bless. Be encouraged. Evil, it never prevails. Peace.